Hi there, I'm Neil, the CEO of Portainer, and today I'm going to take you on a quick trip around how you can make hybrid cloud and multi-cloud a reality. From our perspective, hybrid cloud and multi-cloud simply means having the ability to deploy and run your applications from any cloud, be that any public cloud, private cloud, or edge cloud. But why would you want to do that? Well, lots of reasons. The most obvious is cost, because not all workloads require the capabilities of a tier 1 cloud provider. And for many workloads, tier 2 providers might offer a far more cost-effective solution. Second, compliance, especially in places like Europe or California, where strict data privacy and data sovereignty laws require you to host your application and store its data within the same region. Or maybe you're an FSI or medical organization and you need to comply with HIPAA, PCI DSS, or other standards. Then there's speed, because the closer your app is to your users, the more responsive it will be. And inversely, the larger the servers running your app, the faster it can crunch data and model complex formulas. So maybe you need to spread your apps around the world for best performance, but crunch data centrally. This should be your choice. And finally, technically, because not all systems are equal. Some providers are more equal than others in certain areas. So you should be able to place your workloads where it makes sense for you. But as you start to spread your applications around, you very quickly realize that all of those Amazon certifications your staff so proudly gained are then meaningless on a Google Cloud or Azure Cloud. Distributing an application across providers means you need to start thinking about problems that previously one provider probably handled for you. Things like logging, monitoring, provisioning, security, management tooling, networking. All things we often take for granted, all of a sudden are things we now need to think about and come up with solutions for. So how can we exploit the awesomeness of multi-cloud without drowning in the complexity that it introduces? Containers. I'm sure you've all heard about them, and likely if I say containers, what you hear is Kubernetes. And that's rightfully so. Kubernetes is the universal translator for the cloud. No, in fact, for infrastructure anywhere from anyone. Software containers, like their physical counterparts, came about because industries needed uniformity to make it easier to distribute applications regardless of transport mechanism. Think about physical shipping containers for a minute. Every container truck anywhere in the world, any port anywhere in the world, any cargo ship anywhere in the world, they can all handle containers natively with no modifications needed at all in their operations or equipment. This is the true definition of portability and ubiquitous access. And it's what software containers strive for, and it's why containers and Kubernetes are the secret to unlocking multi-cloud. But whilst Kubernetes is the unifying, universally standardized platform for running container-based applications, for various reasons, many cloud providers have elected to extend its common format with their own unique value adds. The problem is, these value adds make things no longer portable. Maybe that's why they do it. So you need to be super careful how many deviations from standard you go, because if you swing too far, you might end up locked in. So whilst it might be appealing to use the capabilities provided by your cloud provider, no two cloud providers offer the same capabilities architected and delivered in the same way. The way Amazon does user auth is very different to how Google and Microsoft do it. So if Kubernetes is the master key to unlock hybrid cloud, how can you deploy Kubernetes platforms in a way that's standardized regardless of which provider you get it from? How can you plumb your environments together? How can you manage them as a single unit? How can you ensure only authorized staff can perform authorized actions regardless of which environment they're working on? Well, the first thing you need to do is stop or avoid the use of any cloud provider native enhancements. I know, it seems crazy, but hear me out. You need 100% consistent set of APIs across all the clouds that you're going to use to deliver your applications. But some clouds are far richer than others. So you need to adopt the capabilities of the lowest common denominator and then supplement the missing capabilities with additional tooling. But what tooling? Well, first up, you need to enable your environments to talk to each other. So you can do things like host your DB on one cloud, your middleware on another, maybe your front-end web servers are spread around the world globally. You need some pretty neat networking to stitch all that together. Now, service meshes, they're designed to do this. So are overlay networks like Submariner. Then you need to consider how will you grant your devs and admins secure access to the environments? How will you authenticate them? How will you control what they can see and do? You need a way to have centralized federated identity management systems integrated with your corporate directory And ideally, you want to sync group membership with RBAC roles so you know who can do what. You need to provide a centralized way for your devs and admins to connect to the environment with their tooling. And this often means centralized API proxies that can securely route to the required backend Kubernetes environments. And you need a way to centrally manage the deployment lifecycle of applications across multiple locations without worrying about deviations or config drift. Now, this could mean GitOps, Portainer edge stacks, or even the fledgling Kube Federation API. These are the types of tools you need. Now, of course, you can go and select multiple discrete tools to achieve this, or you can look at a tool like Portainer that provides all of this and more from a single control point. Portainer delivers you a singular API that your devs can point all of their tooling against. You get the ability to deploy applications across one or more cloud providers in bulk from one centralized portal. You can link Portainer to your corporate directory and sync your group membership with Portainer teams. And you can assign teams roles against environments that they're allowed to consume and manage. This is all done in a very human-friendly interface that radically simplifies the setup of multi-cluster, multi-cloud environments in a safe, secure, and governed manner. So here's a quick screenshot of Portainer showing 5 different cloud environments: Google, Civo, Linode, Rancher, and Azure. That we support thousands of environments, all from the one Portainer instance. And here you can see our transparent proxy in action. The config file on the left shows Portainer as the API endpoint for all of the clusters. And your devs can use things like kubectl on their desktop and access these clusters via Portainer, as you can see in the screenshot. So that's all we have time for right now. If you want to see more and you want to see Portainer in action, come find us at our booth. We'll be happy to show you around and show you just how much value Portainer can offer for you and how you can enable hybrid cloud and multi-cloud successfully.